Okay, so I am up to the lightning strike now. I'm just going to look at my frames. I have 50 or so. And I'm going to critique them, see if there's any place I need them to speed up or be different. And here, I don't think I need either of these frames. So I'm going to start editing. Take this whole chunk of them out. Because it's it's not effectively showing the kind of rumbling in the sky that I wanted. I'm going to take that one out. And this one. Let's see how that looks. And then I know that these, I'm just going to make a little note to myself. That this one especially needs to be shorter. All of these need to be about half the time. So it really feels like a strike. Okay, since I have a lot of frames built up now, before I move on, I want to finalize them. So I'm going to flatten frames into layers one last time now that I've deleted those. Now I have 52 frames. And it can get confusing because you'll have frames on top of frames. So I'm going to delete all these underneath frame 1, where before I had 54 frames. And now frames 40 through 44, I'm going to mark with a color, which reminds me just to speed them up to half time. All right, so now this is the last frame I'm on. I'm going to go back to my assets, and I have to figure out how to build what's next. Where the storm starts to go away, it lifts, and I just have ashes left over. Consequences tend to be a little bit easier to animate because you're going backwards or you're removing elements instead of always adding them. So, let's see. So I'm basically on this without effects. And I'm going to want to get rid of my guy entirely. Because he's replaced with this skeleton now. So why is the guy still showing up? Alright, so now I've just got the skeleton. I've got to darken it a little bit. That's too much, so I'm going to use the storm clouds. Come on, open it. Put it on soft light. All right, and this will work for a next frame. Or maybe I want this one instead. Okay, so now I'm going to actually design them within my assets and then just bring them over as is, because it's getting a little bit too complicated to mess with. So now that I have all my frames clean here, I'm going to select them all, trash all the frames in my stage, and now add some new ones. So now what I do, let me see, I want to add a slight layer effect to this, color overlay. It's more opaque. Let's see, what do I need to do? I think I want to move it out of the lightning strike folder. All right. And I need to make it look like ashes. It needs to be pretty dark. So there he is now. Maybe less than that to begin with. All right, now I'm going to bring this over onto here as my next frame. So how do I do that? I hold down Option and I say, this is all my assets, and I say Layer, Merge Visible. Then I select it all, Command A, Command C. I go to my stage and I say Command V, and it pastes it on as the next layer. Oh, but I can see I don't want as much of the texture fill on there. I don't think I really want any of the texture fill on there, so let me turn that off. You do need the rock in there. Where is that coming from? Okay. So this is why, once it gets kind of complicated like this, I want to be a little bit more careful. So this is more what I want it to be. So now, same thing, hold down Option, go to Layer, Merge Visible. The shortcut is Shift Command E, but it's hard to do with Option. Command C, copy it, paste it over. And now I have a new frame. Now what's the next one going to be? Turn that off. I want to increase the look of the ash. So I'm going to take that color overlay and make it stronger and stronger, and maybe let it glow a little bit. So I take it to about 70% opacity. Then outer glow just so it shows up. About that much. Then same thing, hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, select all, copy, paste on top. This is the classic way of doing frame-by-frame animation, just building each clean frame as a new layer. Next. And I'm playing with layer effects here, layer styles. Maybe it's time to switch, move these effects down. Another skeleton. Or rather just duplicate, because remember on the assets layer you can make as many duplicates as you want. And I kind of want this one more. I'm going to duplicate that, move it up and out. So I can start playing with them here. And I'm going to trash those effects and add my effects. So that's what I had before, and now this will be the next frame. Make them even darker. Make the outer glow a little bit stronger. Hold down Option. Maybe I can reintroduce some mist. As I start to reset I can start dimming the storm effects a little bit. Just lift this one a little bit. All right, hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, select all, copy, move it. Well, moving it in isn't as good as just copy and pasting it, because that will place it exactly. So now you see he's dark and glowing, and he'll soon become a pile of ash, and the sun is starting to peek out again. So it's a very controllable way to do it. Next, I'm going to turn this all the way off. Make that a little bit darker and then start to dim the outer glow. And let's play with a little bit more mist. So just adding these different asset components in. Hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible. Copy it all, paste it all in. So you don't really need to animate at all on your stage. You can animate all in your assets as long as you bring those flattened layers onto your stage when you're done. It's like taking the photo after you have posed your claymation figures. So now I'm just going to play with this glow a little bit, make that pulsate. And then I'm going to start to erase away from him. I'm going to use what's called a dissolve blending mode. And then as I erase away from him in assets here gently, you'll see how he'll start to dissolve into solid pixels. Start to look like ash. It's very subtle. Let's hit the edges. Hold that Option, Layer, Merge Visible, copy, paste. And I'm going to do it a little bit more. And I'm going to brighten it up a little bit more. Copy, paste. And then, to really make it look like it's blowing away, I'm going to start tugging at him with warp. Hey, if I want to make it really effective, I'll use puppet warp and anchor his feet, right? So those are the last things to go. I'll just start to tug a little bit. Edges of him, and then erase away a little bit more. And I can take it to a lower opacity. My eraser, just start to break up all of it a little bit. Hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, copy it, Oh, select